Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. It is February 2023. Have another decent stack of stuff to talk about here. Some recent pickups. Vinegar Syndrome had a small sale. I want to say it was for their partners month. They had a couple of $10 releases that were pretty interesting, and some new releases. So start with Sidekicks on 4K. This is part of their VSU collection in these big boxes here. So the nice magnetic opening like a lot of their other ones do, and all the contents inside. This is the case of the 4K. Of course, Sidekicks is, the 90s, rip-off of Karate Kid, if you will. Something I have not seen in quite a while, but kind of nostalgic for it, maybe more so than the Karate Kid. This was one of those movies that we've been playing on, HBO a bunch back in the early 90s, and yeah, I have a lot of memories watching this, and of course, Jonathan Brandis was kind of that it kid for at least a couple of years back in the 90s. He's made a bunch of movies, so yeah, really decent movie here. Really big package for kind of not an obscure film, but something that may not be universally loved, but cool release nonetheless. This is From Beyond. Really cool slipcover here. A little unfortunate because this is kind of making the Scream Factory version obsolete, if you will. Got on 4K. I had that version with a slipcover from Scream Factory, and prior to this release, it was relatively sought after, or going for decent money on eBay. And now this is a much more readily available release with a slipcover, and it's in 4K. Part of Vinegar Syndrome's MGM partnership or collaboration or licensing agreement. So we'll probably see a lot more of these things coming out from Vinegar Syndrome since they have the MGM agreement. And can't wait to check this out. This is another Lovecraft, I believe, adaptation from Brian Yuzna and Stuart Gordon. Similar cast of characters from like your Reanimator. But yeah, really cool. Lots of great practical effects in this one, and can't wait to watch that soon. This is part of the $10 deal from Vinegar Syndrome that they were running every day. Ice Cream Man. This is, of course, Clint Howard as the deranged Ice Cream Man. He's the slasher in this one. Terrifier 2. This was the Best Buy edition, I believe. If not, it was Amazon. I want to say it was Best Buy, though. Could be wrong. They're doing the same stuff here where they have different retailers having different exclusives. This is the 4K. I want to say that Walmart had a Steelbook, but that was only the Blu-ray, not the 4K. I opted to get the 4K rather than the Steelbook. Haven't seen it yet. I saw the first one not too long ago. Think it's a lot of hype. I didn't really care for it too much. I'm not familiar with the anthology that came before this. So if you watch the first movie, how do you know his name's Art the Clown? There's not a whole lot of they don't really let you know what's going on in the first movie. It just kind of starts, and hopefully this one there's a little more backstory, a little more background. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's like 2.5 hours long or so, 139 minutes. So yeah, you're going over the 2-hour mark, not quite 2.5, but let's see if it lives up to the hype. I heard there's a third one in the makes, possibly. But I know there's a lot of talk about these films. So I don't own the first one. I don't own the first anthology, but I own the second one, and we'll give it a spin soon and see how it is. Dances with Wolves, limited edition steelbook. And this was something that was Shout Factory. It was on their list of soon to be out of print. So I went and picked it up. I think I got this on Amazon. It was like $10-15. Really long movie. Speaking of long movies, it's what? There's 2 cuts on here. There's the theatrical cut at 181 minutes and the extended cut at 234 minutes. So yeah, wow, I don't think I've ever seen the extended cut before. So haven't seen this movie in a long time. I don't know when I'll have time to watch it. It's a really long movie, but probably one of Kevin Costner's better attempts at an epic, as The Postman and Waterworld probably didn't do so well. Tommy Boy, Amazon Steelbook. Maybe you can get it somewhere else. I'm not sure. But what can you say about this completely, classic film? I think I may have this on DVD. I'm not quite sure, but I saw the Steelbook. Again, it's like $10. Figured it'd be worth the upgrade, if nothing else, to have Tommy Boy on the Steelbook. Fantastic classic comedy. Got this from the Vinegar Syndrome website, but it is not a Vinegar Syndrome release. This is Undead. And this is a new partner label for them, which is Umbrella Entertainment from Australia. I have a couple of other Umbrella Entertainment releases, but I think this is the first one, and I may be wrong, but I think this is the first one that is through the partner label on Vinegar Syndrome site. And I remember seeing this trailer about 20 years ago when it first came out and thinking that the meteors looked really cool for the CGI. Now it looks a little dated. I actually watched this last night. Had never seen it before, but yeah, it's a really fun zombie, comedy film. Not quite Shaun of the Dead level, but it was really good. Worth the watch. A little on the long side. It was only 120, or no, it was an hour and a half, right? So about 90 minutes long, but it felt a little longer. Maybe they could have trimmed some things out here to make it, paced a little bit better. But a fun zombie film with an alien twist. But yeah, hopefully they do more stuff with Umbrella, because they're a really good label, and it'd be nice to have them more accessible than having to import them. This is ETR Media, Lieutenant Jangles, and this is also from the Vinegar Syndrome site, another partner label. And this was a release that was done a couple of months ago. I can't recall if it was a January, February release. Maybe it was even a December release from their partner label. But of all the things that they were releasing and the partner labels, this looked like it was the most fun. Another Australian film, so I heard decent things about it. Not really sure what it's about, but it looks cool. From Vestron, this is the Silent Night, Deadly Night collection. This is 3, 4, and 5. And they do a lot of these cool collections, Vestron does. They did Waxwork 1 and 2. They did the Wishmaster films. I think there were a couple other ones, but we have Bill Moseley and looks like Clint Howard again on here. I've only seen the first two, and of course the first one is by far the best. The second one, if it wasn't for the garbage day scene, I don't think would have any notoriety at all, other than the fact that it has a bunch of stuff from the first movie kind of cut into it. But kind of curious to see how these are. I wanted to watch these over when I was on break for Christmas here, but didn't get a chance to. But they couldn't be any worse than the second one, could they? I don't know. But yeah, Bill Moseley, Clint Howard, worth the watch, I'm sure. See how they are. This is a film I have not seen for a while. This is Nick of Time, starring Johnny Depp and Christopher Walken. And this was kind of made to be in the same vein as Hitchcock's Rope, I believe, to where it was supposed to actually take place in real time. So it's got a running time of about, 90 minutes, 88 minutes long. So 1 minute in the film was supposed to be 1 minute in real time, or vice versa. And, Johnny Depp plays an accountant who is just kind of haphazardly picked as a would-be assassin to kill the governor of California. And he gets caught up, unwillingly caught up in this bizarre conspiracy. And he's set to face off with Christopher Walken and figure out how to get out of it. So it's a good movie. I don't know if they really nailed the 1-to-1 time ratio, but it's a decent thriller. And again, this is one of those things that was on HBO a bunch in the 90s, and just have kind of fond memories for it. It's a lesser known film, but really decent, worth a watch. And again, it was like $10 on Amazon. So if you see it, pick it up. It's a decent watch. Another one from the 90s, Necessary Roughness. Of course, we have Kathy Ireland, Scott Bakula, Sinbad's in this one. Who else? I'm missing somebody. Jason Bateman. Ooze's 90s. This is like early 90s, so you kind of like late 80s kind of bleeding into it. But 90s football movie about a really bad college football team. Looks like they have Michigan State colors, which is funny. Yeah, just Ooze's 90s, ton of nostalgia. Again, this is something that I think we rented this a bunch of times when we were younger. It's not really that great of a film, but I do have a lot of good memories of it. And it does kind of hold up. There are still some funny bits in here. It doesn't totally get lost, even though it's, 30-something years old now. Really decent film. And when I saw it on Blu-ray, I just had to pick it up. Looks good, sounds good, and brings back good memories. 200 Cigarettes. This is a New Year's Eve movie. Without looking at this, I guess I have to look at the cast. Christina Ricci, Jeanine Garofalo, Paul Rudd, Ben Affleck, Casey Affleck, Courtney Love, Jay Moore. There's a ton of people in this movie. Takes place on New Year's Eve. I want to say in the 80s it takes place in New York City, and which is one of my favorite versions of New York City. And just a really fun, ensemble cast, comedy, really well made. Not really well known. I think a lot of people maybe not that they don't know about it, just doesn't get talked about, so maybe it's underappreciated. Another one I wanted to watch over the break because it takes place on New Year's Eve. Just never had a chance to open it, but yeah, a lot of good memories from this one as well. Really decent comedy film there. And the last one, starring Anthony Edwards. This is Miracle Mile. I saw some clips of this recently, and I've not seen it. And if I have, I don't remember anything about it. But from what I can gather, it's about an impending nuclear strike and what the people on the ground are doing to prepare for it. I don't know if it's like a false alarm or if they're really going to get hit with a missile or a bomb, but it looked pretty decent. People talk highly about it. Anthony Edwards was great, especially around this time. His late 80s, early 90s career was really good. Prior to ER, he did a lot of film work. So yeah, I'm curious to see what the buzz is about for this one. I've not seen it before, so that's it. Decent little stack there. I don't have anything else on order right now. I'm not sure what else is coming out from the other labels. Vinegar Syndrome always has things coming out. So we'll see what's on tap, and if other weird things pop up, I will pick them up as I see them. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.